Hello, my name is Vivek Bajaj. I have more than 20 years experience in stock market, and I can suggest you, if you are serious about stock market, download StockEdge app. It will really help you in your journey of wealth creation from stock market.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Welcome all of you to this session of mine. So every month I try to conduct these sessions where I touch some important topics which are important for us to learn. Okay, consider this to be a learning session where we are going to discuss a very interesting topic at this moment, which is how to trade in Trump era. Okay. Before I start that, let me ask you this question. How many of you are active traders here, like whose life is dependent upon trading? Your home is dependent upon trading. How many of you are active traders here? Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we have someone from Indonesia as well. Welcome, Paresh. 13, 14, 15. Okay. More or less around 15, 20 people are active traders here. Okay, great. And how many of you trade probably once in a week, not daily, once in a week? Okay, once in a week. People who are trading once in a week. You can say me. If you want to just answer the questions, you can say me, once in a week. Okay, we have quite a many people who trade once or twice in a week. Yeah, correct. That means broadly, people who trade once or twice in a week are swing traders. Yeah, swing traders also. How many of you are momentum investors like me? People who like to trade positions for some period of time, like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Momentum investors or momentum traders like me. Oh, there are quite a number of people. Nice, nice, nice. Very good. Excellent. I see a lot of people are momentum investors, and welcome to the gang, guys. Welcome to the tribe. I think we have a big community in India, and we should be very proud of the work we all are doing in this domain of momentum investing. Okay. So if you are proud to be a momentum investor, just say yay. Let me also write it. Yay. Uh, Let me write it here. So, yay. True, true, true. I love momentum investing. Yeah. It's, I think, one of the most amazing thing which has happened with me. And full credit to my guru, Mark Minervini. The way he has helped me in doing what I'm doing right now and helping me in this journey of peaceful investing and trading is just amazing. Okay. So today we are not going to talk about momentum investing. Maybe that's some other day. I mean, I've been talking about momentum investing for a long period of time, but today I'm going to talk about Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump and his tantrums and all the things which he's doing to make life of all of us tough. So trendum, tough. Are you getting boggled down with Mr. Trump? If you are getting boggled down with Mr. Trump, you can just accept. Oh, some people say, no, I really don't care. I really don't care. That's nice. That's nice. Naga, Dipal, that's very, very good. Major, oh, we have Major Ashutosh also joining. Very good. Yeah, he's good. He's giving good opportunities to invest. That's right, Major Ashutosh. Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously, whenever there is any crisis, there is an opportunity, but the opportunity will always come in a very different shape, different size, different way. And it is always important for all of us to understand that opportunities do come when there is crisis or when there is change in the regime or there is something which is unusual happening in the world. And one needs to be very mindful of capturing those opportunities. So let us try to go through this learning. I made a small presentation and I definitely want to share the presentation with all of you where I tried to decode the Trump era. Okay, how Trump has been as a person. We're going to talk about his first tenure when he came as a first president of United States of America, and then now now in this tenure, what he is doing and how economy and how markets are doing, and what we need to do to make money in market in his era, or for that matter, any kind of change in era which can come because of change in personality or change in market conditions or whatever. Because change can come in any form and shape, and anyone can trigger the change. Today, Trump has triggered the change. Tomorrow, someone else can trigger the change. So we need to be mentally prepared about our methodology of becoming part of the new era which can happen because of anyone else. Okay. So let's talk about Trump era, trading in the Trump era, policies, market, asset classes, and compare the two tenures of Mr. Trump. Okay. Now, one thing is for sure that Donald Trump is a person who believes that America should be first. He's extremely, extremely patriotic about America. I think he is probably more patriotic there about America than probably Modi ji is patriotic about India. I mean, I don't want to talk negative about Modi ji. He's just an amazing leader. We should be very proud of the fact that he did whatever he has done. But in terms of craziness and patriotism, I think Trump is just mad person. Okay, because he can just do anything and everything to prove his madness. You see, Trump has three broader pillar, the doctrine, which is helping him to do what he is doing, which is actually guiding him towards the dominance of America and or establishing the dominance of America. Number one, tariff. I think Trump has been talking about tariff for many, many years. It's not that in this particular tenure he is talking about tariff. Tariff he has been talking in last tenure also. So there's nothing unusual. Yes, in this tenure he has become slightly aggressive in talking and implementing tariffs. Number two, tax cuts as a fuel. So you can see it's written, it's here. Okay. Tax cut as a fuel. So he's the person who always believed that we should reduce tax and let the economic activity drive the economy rather than government forcing the economy to work. Okay. And number three, America over globalization, which is basically he's the one who brought the concept of localization and said that forget about globalization. I don't care about China. I don't care about other competitive advantages other countries have. I want everything to be done in my country because I want my country to be powerful. So he's transactional, disruptive, and consistent. Markets have understand his logic and can anticipate his moves. So, when he came in the month of September, I think September, last year, September, he came and it was quite disturbing for the market because from day zero, he started his tool of tariff. So, tariff as a leverage, import duty are his first economic tool used to extract trade concessions, punish rivals, and protect domestic industries. And he will continue to do that. He will continue to do that because I think he has also believed that military exercise after a point of time will only drain the economy. Tariff is the biggest weapon which will not just be used to to scare other countries, but also it can be used to generate more revenue for the economy, which essentially reduces the deficit which the US economy has been enjoying ever since the dollarization activity started way back in 1970s. So second point is tax cut is equal to growth. So I mean there are a lot of initiative which he took in the early stage 2017. He reduced the corporate tax from 35 to 21. Then one big beautiful bill 2025. So for him, tax reduction is of the primary importance, and he has a belief that tax will definitely helps in growth. Which to certain extent India somehow has not been able to appreciate. But Indian economy is very different. US economy is very different. So we can't strictly compare these two economies. So we'll talk about it later that why America is different and India is different, and we have to think about India in a very different manner. Energy dominance. We all remember that phrase he gave, "Drill, baby, drill." He exited himself from Paris Accord, and he always said that fossil fuel is the competitive advantage, and I want to continue with it. Okay, and that's why you know that US has become the biggest exporter of oil in the world right now. I mean, this whole Iran war and you know and uh, 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 Iran war and all the kind of disturbances which he's trying to create everywhere is because he want all oil prices to be up. He's a very commodity favored president. He wants commodity prices to go up because maybe because of his business interest also. He may be, I'm sure, owning a lot of commodities driven assets. But at the same time, because US has been very strong in few commodities, particularly in oil now, they've become the biggest exporter. That will in turn help if commodity prices remain up. That will in turn help US to remain strong in their dominance. Uh, the fourth point is spend first, ask later. So he doesn't care about fiscal deficit. He's okay that fiscal deficit goes for a toss. He doesn't care about the debt ceiling and etc. Although at times he do mention about the debt. And when Elon Musk was there, it was very open communication that we in US needs to work on reducing the debt, reducing the debt. But somehow he feel that if I keep on devalue dollar, my debt problem will keep on going down because if the dollar is getting devalued, the total value of the debt will also get revisited. So for him, debt is someone else's problem and bilateral, not multilateral. So he dislikes WTO, NATO, burden sharing, multilateral deals. He prefers one-to-one negotiation, and obviously because he is one of the most successful real estate baron of US and someone who has become a leader in US, New York real estate, that Manhattan good. It's not something which can happen with an idiot, right? He must be an amazing negotiator and he realizes his importance, his strength. And that's why he believes that I want to have one-to-one negotiation with counterparty rather than creating a association for multiple decision making. So, term one, the playbook was something like this. In 2017, he initiated tax cuts and uh, job act. Then in 2018, the trade war actually came in 2018. He first tariff he actually implemented in China on around $250 billion Chinese goods, and China retaliated on soya, auto manufacturing. Finally, US won the battle, although farmers lost. But manufacturing point of view, say US won the battle that time, and that battle is still continuing. So it's actually US versus China, which is leading to that whole problem in the world. And this, I think, will continue because China has emerged as a dominant force globally, right? And we may like or we may dislike, but China is far superior than all of us. And earlier, I'm so sorry about it. There was some internet blink. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Sorry about this. Yeah. I don't know till how much we were able to. Uh, Swati, was this slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So 2019, when the battle between both Fed and the Trump started, and it was quite a battle. I mean, all of us were actually witnessing that battle, which was happening between both of them on Twitter itself. Okay. Then 2020 happened. COVID actually crashed, led to a lot of things. I mean, GDP crashed and a lot of people lost their jobs. So $2.2 trillion worth of stimulus was given and money was sent to the US consumers directly, which was quite a criticism, which the whole world was at some point of time was criticizing US for that. But then finally, because money went to the US citizens in the bank account, they were able to consume and economy was kind of the pent-up demand after immediate closure of the COVID, the pent-up demand led to recovery in the economy. So market recovered V-shaped, again largely driven by the liquidity which was added in the economy by Fed and handover amid chaos. So finally, Bill Biden, who actually became the successor of Trump. He came in 2021, and there was quite a chaos when unemployment rate was quite high and inflation was also there. I think that was largely also because of the pent-up demand which was created after COVID, and a lot of money got printed. And whenever money gets printed, there is inflation, which drives the economy. So if you see that way, the economy which was given to Biden was not a great economic condition. Vis-a-vis, if you see pre-COVID, the economic condition in US was amazing, and to certain extent, Trump created that environment so that the economic condition would be very, very good, and that led to good number. If you see GDP growth in US, before Trump, it used to be below 2%. It was never such a high growth territory. But after Trump came, so GDP growth in 2018 peaked to 3%. Unemployment went up to 3.5%, which was a record low. Not, I mean, pre-COVID was just amazing for US. I think the way they were growing was US actually market also performed by 67%. S&P 500 during his tenure, and inflation was 2%. So I think because he's a businessman, he understands the whole art of doing business quite well. And for him, country is also kind of an organization which he is running, and he used to plan the business. He plans the business accordingly, but his style is slightly more um, on the face. Like we saw the video yesterday where there was G7 meeting, and he came late, and then his first statement was that I am the boss. So because he's the boss, the fact is that this is how he has built his large empire. So you can't deny that he's the boss, and he will run the company as well as the country as a boss. Okay. Now, term two, when he went all in, because I think when he's this time when he got in, he thought that this is my perfect opportunity to become part of the history, and he wants to do things which uh, no government has done ever in US. Okay, because every president wants to be part of a history book, and maybe he thought that because of COVID, he didn't get so much opportunities in his first term because most of their time got spent in managing the COVID crisis. But I think this time he was very sure that he will go all in like a poker game. So from day one, he started his tariff declaration, and he started bombarding tariff on multiple countries. So it was a shock where even markets reacted to the shock. Then there was Doge. Elon Musk was leading that, where his target was to reduce the debt. So you had government shutdown happened, a lot of actions on the government spending side, on the employment side, etc., on the government employee side, etc. So Elon Musk wanted that out of 37, 38, $39 trillion of debt which US has, at least aggressive initiatives should be taken that the debt should be reduced. So 1 trillion debt was actually reduced. Liberation Day. Uh, Liberation Day, global tariff. Uh, uh, I mean, there was a crash. So basically, ever since he has come, you see, all the actions are basically to disturb the equanimity in the global markets, right? Which at times it is difficult to understand that what could be his next move. So this time he was quite unpredictable. Like Iran happened, it was quite unpredictable in that sense, and maybe he did not estimate the Iran reaction like this. Maybe he was not ready with enough insights that Iran will also have some strength and they will retaliate in best possible manner. So there was quite a bit of uncertainty, and which is still continuing, and he will not stop. So now Iran is gone, now tariff again will come, and then again something will come. So he needs to be weaker, I feel, and hopefully in midterm election, if he gets a very bad vote, then at least his extra powers which he has as a president will get diluted, and maybe Congress also puts him in slightly weaker territory, and maybe he will be much more predictable after that. But his first tenure, अभी का जो फेज है उसमें तो डेफिनेटली हैज बीन वेरी वेरी अनप्रेडिक्टेबल, बट मार्केट हैज really rewarded. Look at the GDP growth. Huh? The GDP at a higher point has grown by 4.3%. S&P is at a record all-time high. Like last year, did get a return of 18%, and ever since also it is going up. Consumer sentiment is probably low because of inflation, etc. But largely because of the tax cut, manufacturing job creation, tariff revenue, etc., they're doing quite well, US, and that's why US market is also at an all-time high level. So broadly, if you see term one versus term two, where the common theme remains that America should be number one. I'm going to use tariff to play the battle, and inflation is definitely something which I want to control. I want to reduce the interest rates, but at the same time, I want aggressive growth, and commodity prices should be up because that helps me in running the country in a much better manner. Now, how the impact of Trump has been on the market. So, as I said, US equity is at an all-time high, and it has gone up always when US Trump is there. Emerging markets is it's mixed because he's kind of anti-China in terms of economic. Then I mean, but because of anti-China thought process, the other emerging economies did quite well. Like India did well, Taiwan did well. A lot of emerging markets, Korea, etc., they have done well. So it's always between this country versus that country. So emerging market is never a single basket which can be taken in a standalone basis. And now that when AI story has come in on top of the Trump story, so there are certain countries which have become huge beneficiary of the AI, and India being on the weak side in terms of AI, India has got on the negative side of underperformance as far as emerging market is concerned. Gold has been one of his favorite asset. I think maybe gold likes Trump also because he brings so much of anti-dollar thought process. So he doesn't want dollar to be strong. He wants dollar to be weak because he knows that weak dollar will help them to manage the balance sheet of US market US economy quite well. So gold has been a biggest beneficiary, and it did made a high of $5,600 in January 26. Crude oil has been in a range in first tenure, and this, I mean, last 1 year only, if you see, crude has started going up because US is the biggest exporter of crude oil, and for them to have crude prices remain up is a decent enough reason. Why he initially wanted crude oil to remain low is maybe because he doesn't believe in non-renewable source of energy. So that's why solar, etc., is not something which he was always in favor. So that's why he wanted crude oil prices to remain at a moderated level. But because he realized that US needs extra current account revenue, so Iran happened, and uh, uh, what's the other country I forgot? Venezuela happened, and so crude oil prices, he wanted it to be at least high level. So he's always a pro commodities guy. That is what I've realized because he's an anti-dollar. Okay, so dollar going down, commodity prices going up. Remember, that's what his thought process has been. Bitcoin, I've just mentioned here, but I don't follow Bitcoin so logically because I mean it's a volatile instrument and I don't invest in Bitcoin. So gold has been a biggest beneficiary of his overall tenure, and as I said, that it is largely driven by the interest rates and the inflation, de-dollarization as well. So why I am talking about these things with all of you, and for some of you, it could have been just uh, uh, fun conversations where I just thought I'll just talk to you guys about this. And there are a lot of readings which I do. And by the way, I also use ChatGPT or Co 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 AI, Copilot, etc. Because while I'm reading, I need to have a lot of clarity in my thought process. And I've been in market for 20 years, so I can connect the dots quite well. That if this is going to happen, then what will have an impact on this and what will have an impact on this, and then accordingly I can plan my trade. Like I'll give you an example. While I realize that Trump is not someone who will let the market to remain in a linear fashion. He likes volatility. Okay, he likes to, maybe he plays in the market, maybe his sons play, maybe his office play. I don't know. Anyone can. I don't know. It's very tough to make a clear-cut statement that he's a manipulator. A lot of people say he's an insider, he's a manipulator. See, it's very difficult at this stage, at that chair, to be a very apparent manipulator. We can make those statements, but really, do we have a proof that he has manipulated? Maybe some people have that proof. I don't want to get into that. All I'm saying that he likes volatility. Okay. And when we are creating a trading setup of ours, we need to understand that market will not be linear. Market will be volatility. So how do you trade when market is volatile? Okay. And given certain things, which I've just stopped the screen sharing for 2 minutes, given certain things where we know that he doesn't like dollar, he want dollar to go down, he's okay with commodity prices going up, he definitely want equity markets to go up. There is no doubt about it. Under his tenure, I don't think so equity market will fall over a period of time. Maybe he utters some statement, some short-term fall may come in US market, but eventually he doesn't want US equity market to fall aggressively. So given all these things which we know about him, and given the interest rates and inflation scenario, what do we do? How do we trade the market? That's the most important question which we need to answer. So it's been half an hour since I've interacted. So let me just get a quick, because I was not seeing the question window, so I don't know what is your reaction and how are you guys taking into. But let me say, let me ask this question. How has been this half an hour of interaction which I just casually presented with all of you? Did you enjoy the interaction? Did you enjoy the interaction? Did you find some useful information from the presentation? Yeah. Something which you want to probably take away. Nice. Nice. Okay, I tried my best to. Some people are saying that it was a bouncer. No, I tried my best to become very focused and give you information which maybe I keep on talking about these things in my videos. So for some people it may be like it was boring because you repeat all the things again and again. But it is important for us to listen at times to our repeated information. It's okay. So basically, I want to tell you that, first thing first, you need a 10,000 feet view about the market. Okay. And if you don't have a 10,000 feet about the view about the market, then you are not able to. So how it helps me is that 10,000 feet view about the market, which gives me a broader view about the market, which helps me in building a position sizing where I will not have stress because I know that the market will be volatile. So my position sizing will be according to that expectation which I have from the market. Okay. Because well, I need to be very careful about the choice of word which I have. Because and how do I explain this to you? At times I'm not able to explain this to people because see what happens, the whole industry just keeps on creating a environment in our mind. The whole industry, sorry, my sons are making some noise. I actually lost the track. Okay, let me just start again. So 10,000 feet view about the market is important because that helps me to find which are the asset class where the most attention is. And if at all I have to make money, I have to look at those asset class also. Like for example, gold, silver. If that is needed, that is needed. And I need to learn about that. I cannot say that नहीं मुझे equity market करना, मुझे options करना, I don't care. अरे ऐसे नहीं हो सकता ना, because when equity market cannot work in sync as per the market activity driven by the top person in the world, then how will you make money in equity market? Okay. Also, if you want to make money in equity market, you can make money in equity market. And we all have been making money in equity market, but the style cannot be the same as what we have learned during COVID time. कोविड में क्या था? कोविड होने के बाद में इक्विटी मार्केट इतना सिंपल था, buy on dip, buy on dip, buy on dip, and you make money. Okay, buy on dip, and you make money. But Trump era में वो नहीं हो पाया है. You cannot always say buy on dip, buy on dip. Well, if you're a long-term investor and if you are making portfolio for your kids, buy on dip will always work in India because technically market will always go up, right? In fact, there's a very good presentation which I want to just show it to you. Just give me 1 minute. I show you a very good slide. And this slide actually is very important for us to understand. Just give me a minute. I have too many PPTs, so at times I tend to pick some content. Sorry, I hope you guys are not getting bored. Sorry about this. So let me explain you this concept, and some of you would have probably seen this presentation of mine and maybe you'll appreciate. Again, repeating, it's okay. Repeat kar lete hain, koi problem nahi hai na. So this is the core concept. If you understand this core concept well, trust me, मार्केट को ना आप अलग तरीके से देखने लग जाओगे. यू विल स्टार्ट फील अ वेरी डिफरेंट साइड ऑफ मार्केट, जो कि नॉर्मल टीवी में या ट्विटर वगैरह में ना लोग उतना एक्सप्लिसिटली बात नहीं करते हैं. यू नो, देयर आर सम पीपल हु आर वेरी गुड व्हेन दे आर शेयरिंग नॉलेज, बट मुझे लगता है कि और बेटर हो सकता है नॉलेज शेयरिंग एक्सरसाइज इंडिया में, जो फॉर्चुनेटली मैं, इनफैक्ट आई डिड अ फेस टू फेस टुडे विद अ 26-year-old guy. And it was such an enriching face to face. 1.5 घंटे तक मैंने उससे जो सीखा है ना, आज मैं वीडियो लाइव करूंगा in couple of days and you see. I hope all of you are seeing my all face to faces and don't miss a single face to face. In fact, I've reduced my face to face to only 2 a month now, so that you can have some time in practicing all the learnings which you're getting from each and every face to face. Okay, let's come back. Sorry for the distraction. Come back. So you see, this is value zone, momentum zone, value zone, momentum zone, value zone, momentum zone. This is Chandi. Okay. What do you see here? You see that Chandi comes back to its value zone, and the value zone from previous value zone is not as high as the previous value zone. But look at gold. Value, momentum, value, momentum, value, momentum. You see in gold, the value zone is higher than the previous value zone. ठीक है? And whenever momentum is there, it's quite fierce. But अगर ये बहुत ज्यादा fierce होगा, तो the theory of gravity will always pull that massive thing which is going up like this to pull it back down. Okay. Look at copper. Value, momentum, value, momentum, value, momentum. So it is very volatile. So every asset will have its own orientation. Every asset. गोल्ड का अलग बिहेवियर होगा, कॉपर का अलग बिहेवियर होगा, चांदी का अलग बिहेवियर होगा, एंड इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस बिहेवियर्स. ओके, बट लुक एट इक्विटी. वैल्यू, मोमेंटम, वैल्यू, मोमेंटम. वैल्यू जोन इज शिफ्टिंग अप. Why value zone is shifting up in equity? Because in equity, principally, equity will always go up because of something called retained earning in balance sheet of the companies. Companies, when they make profit, certain percentage goes as a dividend, certain percentage retains as a retained earning. Okay, so this will always go up. Value zone will always go up. So इसका मतलब इंडिया का नया वैल्यू जोन है तकरीबन 22,000 के नीचे अब मार्केट जाना बहुत टफ है, बिकॉज हमारी कंपनीज इतना पैसा कमा चुकी है, तो वो 22,000 का वैल्यू जोन पे उस पैसे को. Now suppose something happened, something like COVID happened and market crash and it goes to say 17,000, 18,000, 16,000. That's a great buying opportunity, because if you know that the new value zone is 22,000, you will not mind buying at a lower level. But then you are a value investor then. You're not a momentum investor. Now you understand the difference between value investor and momentum investor? Momentum investor participates when there is momentum. Value investor participates when the price is near its value zone, because at the value zone, it offers the highest margin of safety. Are you guys with me? Hello? Hello, hello? Am I making sense? Are you guys with me? Are we sync? Yeah? Superb, superb. Very nice. Very nice. Good to see all of you with me. Good to see. Did you have dinner? How about dinner? I didn't have dinner. I'll have dinner after. Yeah. I wanted to take class. Yeah. Chalo. We'll just quickly wrap up in 5-10 minutes so that all of us can have dinner. Yeah. तो ये लर्निंग आप याद रखो, ये स्लाइड को आप याद रखो हमेशा कि मोमेंटम फॉलोज वैल्यू. Value is a strong base of any financial asset. Each asset has its own value discovery mechanism. In commodities, value come back to historical levels. In equity, value will always go up over a period of time due to retained earning. And momentum starts with short-term attempt, matures in medium term, and concludes in long term after a very steep rise over 80-degree angle. Over 80 degree. Over 80 degree क्यों बोलते हैं? Because जैसे हम कोई बॉल फेंकते हैं तो मैं ऐसे बॉल फेंकेंगे, so the intensity of the fall, और ऐसे बॉल फेंकेंगे, the intensity of the fall. Obviously, if you do it like this, the intensity of the fall will be far more fierce than the intensity of the fall when you throw it like this. Okay. All right. So what I'm saying that there is a lot to learn. There is a lot to learn, and if we don't develop that massive learning appetite, it has to be absolutely massive learning appetite. You can't be just a ordinary learner of financial market. बड़ा पैसा शेयर बाजार में या financial market में overall वही बनाता है जो बहुत बड़ा earning करता है. I started my career as a commodities trader in 2006. Then I became currency market trader in 2008. And then I became a algo trader in 2009-10. And then I became an equity market momentum investor, swing trader in 2013. Then I became a momentum investor in 2019, and so on. So my journey of 20 years has been constant evolution. You know the reason why? Two reasons. My hunger to be on the learning curve all the time is just, I am so blessed. I have to, give credit to my father for making me what I am, because he's also crazy learner, all learning all the time. And second thing is my base of market understanding is multi-asset. Okay, commodity, currency, equity. When you understand everything and build a holistic picture, then I think you become extremely successful in looking at where the market is. That's what I teach also. And you see on my YouTube, enough video related to all the knowledge which I'm sharing with you guys. And I strongly believe that if you are looking for success in financial market, look at multi-asset. And, I always believe that you need to add learning value in society. And I've been teaching multi-asset trading since 2008, right? I started teaching people offline in 2008 in Calcutta, and it's been amazing journey of teaching people and adding value in society. So if you want more learning from me on a real-time basis, if you feel that you want to connect with me over WhatsApp, you want to make me part of your learning journey, and you want to become part of the multi-asset learning program, which is a unique program which I run with my two mentors, Shorodip and Chetan. And it's a great program. It's a 6-month program, but it's a lifetime relationship which we built. I mean, there's a WhatsApp group where we constantly learn from each other. Then we have a lifetime relationship. So I have people who have been my students for over 5 years, 10 years, and they're still in touch with me, because learning is a constant journey. And if you don't become a compulsory quality learner, then market will not reward you because there's constant evolution which is happening in the market, and we need to be there as part of that evolution. So I invite some of you who are really passionate learner, just like me, to become part of my multi-asset mentorship program. It's a 6-month program. The batch is going to actually the batch has already started from 15th, but you guys can join that batch also. It's a very structured program. We've been taking that program for months now, for years now. So basically, first module is all about understanding the behavior of price. Bhav ki bhasha. It's every day, half an hour, first module. In the evening from 8 to 8:30, you'll understand how price action works. Okay. This we have kept every day because we want that you should learn every day, because that will kickstart that journey, that motivation of learning. Okay. Thereafter, you go through my module of momentum trading, where we discuss a lot of stocks, chart ideas, concepts. Me and Pawan takes then options trading by Chetan. Again, amazing module. I mean, if you don't know options, if you want to learn how to trade options with the view of any asset, I think it's an amazing module. And then finally, Shrudeep take you through the gold, silver, crude, MCX, his GSS strategy in equity, etc., etc. So it's a 6-month module, comprehensive, and lot of handholding, lot of guidance. We three are there. Then there are 3 more associates who are always there to help you in your learning journey. So if you at all are looking at serious participation in market, not for people who are free riders who still believe that I will be dependent on XYZ for my stock ideas, trading ideas, then definitely this is not the program for you. If you want to be serious, if you want to have a lifetime relationship with me and all the mentors, then I think you would like to join this multi-asset mentorship program, which is listed in Elon Markets.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.